Mm. Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered call-in show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest Scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Hey, everybody. Welcome. How are you today? Let me throw some applause out there. Hey, welcome to the Devon Morris Unfiltered Calling Show, where we talk about Scrum and Agile, and that's what we talk about. That's what it is. That's what it is, right? So the way this show works is really simple. I see somebody's in the green room already. You'll I'm not really going to go to the green room till about 25 minutes after the hour, just so you know, right? But here's the deal. We answer your questions about Scrum and Agile here, right? Whatever questions you have, we answer them here. Today's topic will be about Agile in non-IT environments, right? I have a lot of experience using Agile personally, and then for various projects I've done, right? And I'd love to talk to you all about that and to some degree. So then you have an idea and see what the heck is going on. So as usual, we always have people in the house. Make sure that you say hi, drop something in the chat so I know that you're there. Say hi, wave, do something, give me a shout so I can shout you out. So please. Let's talk about how the show operates, right? First 5 minutes, we go through intros, we just talk a little bit. I tell you what's going on. And then after that, we'll jump into the topic, 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how long it takes. And then after that, we open the entire floor for the questions that you may have, right? So just know about 20, well, I would say 25 minutes to 30 minutes after is when we open up the floor for the entire show for you to join us and ask any questions. So if you're in the green room now, welcome to be there. No problem. Just know that being in the green room, you're going to wait a little bit. Okay. Gonna wait about 20 minutes. All right. So we should be good to go. So outside of that, what's going on? As you know, I'm Devon Morris. I'm your guide on this journey. Um, it's I don't know. The past year has been all about, making sure the kids is all right and stuff like that. And so I've been doing a bit of traveling, right? And getting things together for clients and contracts, things of that nature. Trying to make sure things are good. Planning out the summer. Just been doing, normal parent, adulting stuff, right? So nothing crazy. In terms of this agile journey and Scrum stuff, it's the same old, same clients that doing the same thing, always doing the greatness. So I'm feeling good about the clients I'm working with. Good opportunities for me to sharpen the saw, learn, be excited, that type of deal. I just absolutely love it, and I love actually just doing what I do, just doing what I do. So it's just a good thing. So. That being said, I'm gonna leave that to the side and let me just go and say hi. Hey there, Azrael, how are you doing? I see that's supposed to be a wave, but that's the way it shows up for me in the comments. Um, Petra, how you doing? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Okay. One thing that I would ask you all to do is smash that like button. If you like the content, you've probably been here before. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. Liking and subscribing to a liking shows that we probably should have more content like this, but subscribing is always going to be just as helpful, right? So let me go ahead and just kind of sit back and start having this conversation. I don't see a bunch of shouts here, but I see we got people in the space. So, again, drop your shout out, say hi, so I know you're here, right? But let's start this conversation. Um, it's one of those things where people, you know, especially if you, I find it in two places, right? There are people who are brand new to this agile thing, right? And I find a lot of those people are coming from non-IT environments, right? And they're normally very curious about whether you can apply Scrum, Agile in general in non-IT environments, right? Um, and then there's the staunch person that's been IT forever, wondering if this is the only place it can stick to, if it can apply elsewhere, right? And I say to both of those parties, for the past, I don't know, I mean, 10, 15 years, at least within 5 years of me being around Scrum. So I would say since 2009, 2010, there's always been this Scrum beyond software, Agile beyond software type movement that has always been kind of percolating within the environment, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, no, no, I like it. I love it, right? So I've seen it and I've done it. Okay. So let me just peel back it for a second and let's talk about it, right? So if you think about what Agile is a collection of values and principles that you live and breathe. So that means you can live and breathe those principles on just about anything that you choose to. It's just that you gotta think a little different, right? So if I was to go grab the Agile Manifesto, Agile Manifesto, I'm actually bringing it up. If I grab the Agile Manifesto right now, and I just kind of displayed it on the screen, right? Just grab it, display it on the screen, right? I may have to grab a second window here, so just give me a second. But if I go and just hit that right there, right? If you look at this thing, realistically, this sentence right here, working software over comprehensive documentation, it could be working whatever you want to be working over comprehensive documentation, right? And so if you change that one right there, and then the other places where it says software, you really can apply this anywhere you choose to, right? And so it's one of those things where, yeah, we can do this well beyond software. Software is an issue because, again, it's a collection of values and there are 12 associated principles. In any place where it says software, you have to really just change it out. That's all you really have to do in terms of it. Now, I say that, right? And then some of you all still don't believe me, right? Still find it hard to even think about, right? And so I'll give you an example so you understand. And some of you all may have seen this, you may not have seen this. Sometimes I bring this up as an example. So let me go back to that screen once again to show you what I mean. Well, let me say this first. Most of you all would agree with me that marketing is not software. Marketing is not software. Okay. So could we apply Agile within the marketing space? Well, a bunch of marketing folks think that we can because they created their own Agile marketing manifesto. You see over here in the upper left hand side, you see it says the Agile marketing manifesto. And if you look here, they got five principles here. We got four, and that's cool, but they're roughly the same, right? Deliver value early and often over waiting for perfection. So you really look at it, taking the working software out, and what is their really problem? Our problem was comprehensive documentation. Their problem is trying to seek perfection. And so they're taking that and they're making it and they're, massaging it so and then it works for their world, right? And in the same sense, they value the items on the left more than they value the items on the right. So this is an example of their ability to do the same thing. You got those values and then you also have principles. It's 10 principles here. They don't have 12, but they took the Agile Manifesto and made their version of that. So can you apply Agile beyond software? The answer to that is a resounding yes. And I'm showing you right here that there are people in marketing that are actually doing exactly that, right? Exactly that. Now, again, that doesn't say anything about my personal usage of it. But the idea is that you have a bunch of professionals that came together and said, these software people, they're doing something that makes sense. That makes sense. So how about we steal a little bit from them, right? So then I know an area where I've seen it also happen is within education. If I was to go to you and say to you, well, what do you think about this then? Um, HR, right? HR, right? We are uncovering better ways of engaging the workplace by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we have come to value, right? Collaborative networks over hierarchical structures, right? Transparency over secrecy, right? Adaptability over prescriptiveness, right? You see the same themes, right? You see the exact same themes. They came together and created an agile human resources version of this, right? And really, I really saw the power of Agile when it came to working with people in human resources. Well, first I saw it working with legal folks, but I didn't think about having a whole Agile manifesto that was associated with it. So this is just another one of those examples. Inspiration and engagement over management and retention, intrinsic motivation over extrinsic rewards. I absolutely love that. Ambition over obligation. That is, they valued items on the right, but they valued items on the left more. Same thing, same exact thing, right? Same purpose here. They took the same model and they're utilizing it, right? And that's important for you to see. And if you go to the principles, you'll notice that they got one, two, three, four, five different principles, right? Support people to engage, grow, and be happy in their workplace. That's an amazing one for human resources, right? And so when I look at it, I'm like super amazed because again, this applies in their space. It's perfect for their space, right? And so it's one of those things where it's just an example of seeing agile in non-IT environments, right? In non-IT environments. And it's important for you to see that because I've seen it again and again and again. Nothing really crazy about it. I just see it all the time. I think there may be another one that I've seen before, but I don't believe I've seen it collectively. But I've seen a group of education people get together and do the same thing. But I don't see a version of that on the internet. So I'm just looking real quick to see if I see an example of that one that's on the internet, and I don't, right? But the point is that these are classic non-IT environments, right? So you think about human resources, right? You think about the essence of what we're trying to do in Agile. A lot of that is collaborating, getting feedback sooner, right? Because you're working on things where the feedback is a necessary thing. So you start thinking more transparency, more opportunities for inspection and adaptation, right? Is what you're going to see. So within this becomes extremely important, right? And so let me dial it back a little bit, right? Because you all know and have seen me do this whole agile thing in many, many different ways, right? You can still hear me. I'm gonna grab something, right? So as you just think about it, right? You all know that I've done agile in all kinds of ways. At least some of you do, right? And for some of you that do, you understand exactly what I mean, right? And so I've told many of you many, many times that I've used uh, Scrum in particular for my workout routine. And I call it Scrum Fit. I call it Scrum Fit. Now, if you really just say to yourself, hey, let me just take Scrum for what it is, right? Forget all the roles and meetings and just not be real heavy on those things because nobody's doing perfect Scrum. But if you think about Scrum as just a time box plan that you evaluate daily, you learn about the product and process and do it again, that's really fundamentally it. So I use Scrum for my workout routine. Every Wednesday, I start a brand new sprint. I do weekly sprints, right? I have goals, right? Product goal. I have sprint goals. You understand? And then I'm just working it. I'm working it. I'm working it, right? And so, can you do Agile in non-IT environments? Yes. Can you do Scrum in non-IT environments? Yes. You know, when my house got behind because I bought a house that I needed to remodel, right? So, in having a house that I needed to remodel, and again, I say remodeling a house, right? Because here's the deal. If I was building a house from scratch, I may not want to bring in plumbers every single sprint. it might be a little bit difficult and expensive to do that, right? But in terms of remodeling my house, when the house got really behind from them doing their normal work, I really sat with the contractors and said, look, I need to get this thing done. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 week sprints. We're going to do 2 week time boxes. And we're going to determine an area of the house that we can complete. It wasn't anything heavy. An area of the house that we can complete. And what I'll come in every other day and, you know, give you feedback, see what's in right in place, what's not. But every 2 weeks we got to do that. If there's something that got something big, got a long waiting time, let's not do that just yet. And so realistically, I was able to utilize Scrum for when my house got behind in terms of remodel to help get it back on track. And then again, get a kitchen done, get the living room, the actual bathroom done, right? Yeah, it's gonna be some extra cleanup, no doubt, right? There definitely was that, right? But it allowed us to get things done and get ourselves back on track. So I was able to use Scrum for the remodel of the house. Um, I always use Scrum in terms of the business, no question. When I do my CSM classes, that's training, right? We actually run Scrum as we train, right? And so realistically, people are taught Scrum by doing Scrum. So as I think something else, Kanban all day. When I work with attorneys, when I first really started exploring this concept of Agile and Scrum beyond software, I did it with a group of attorneys, right? Literally at a big company, and it worked just fine. But we utilize more Kanban because their work didn't lend itself toward time box sprints, so we had to use Kanban instead, right? And so that's Kanban beyond software. The point I'm making to you is that there's a million and one ways that you can kind of peel it back, skin a cat, whatever you want to call it, right? And find ways to do this agile thing outside of the IT world. Now, I will say this to you. If you are a non-IT person, you've never been around IT, and you become a scrum master, you get involved in IT, it is likely you're going to have to learn something. It would be like me going into healthcare and not knowing anything about healthcare whatsoever. It'd be like me coming into your field and not knowing anything about your field. There's nomenclature that is associated with IT. There's tools that are associated with IT. And yeah, you got to get used to that kind of stuff, but Scrum is the same, whether it's IT or non-IT. Agile's the same, whether it's IT or non-IT. So realistically, in all these situations, we're trying to accomplish something. We really, really are. Does that make sense? So my question for you all is here. Anybody here that's used Agile slash Scrum in a non-IT environment? If you have, type in the chat for me what environment that you utilize Scrum in. What environment did you utilize Scrum Beyond software or Agile behind software? Just what industry did you do that in? Does that make sense? I ask this for a reason because there are several of you here that have done Scrum outside of IT, that's done Agile outside IT. What industry did you do that in? What non-IT environment was that in? Type it in the chat for me. Type it in the chat for me, right? Um, I've seen it in healthcare. I've seen it used to make clothing, right? Samples in particular for a particular company, right? Brought all their operations to a particular place in the NYC, and boom, able to get samples out in a day versus in weeks, right? So I've seen Scrum and Agile being used beyond software in corporate America and personally. I'm trying to think, have I seen it in the government? I haven't seen it in the government. I haven't seen it there, right? Haven't seen it in the government, right? Okay. Um, it's just interesting, because I don't, it's not anything that's difficult. Is people think that it's difficult? No, no, no. It's principles. It's principles, values, and all Scrum is just a framework. It doesn't say you got to be particular with this or that. Now, if you said, "Can I do um, extreme programming beyond software?" I guess you can, but there's some things that are more software specific inside of extreme programming, right? So it's just interesting. So, and when I'm asking you all for non-IT environments, what I'm really saying to you is I believe every industry has IT. So, for example, I see Lillian says banking and financing. Hey, that's cool. But here's the deal. Are you talking about IT within banking and financing? Are you talking that? Because that's what I don't want you to put that down. I'm talking about purely non-IT. It's non-IT, period, right? Non-IT, right? So don't give me IT within an industry. No, 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 no. That's unfair. I wouldn't put it that way, right? So just really, really important. It's just really, really important to think about and just pull back and just think. Have you done Scrum outside of IT? Agile outside IT? You look at that Agile manifesto, marketing manifesto, maybe you have. HR manifesto, maybe you have. I'm not sure, right? In education, outside that, maybe you have. I'm not sure, right? But I see a few people say, I see Azrael says with digital marketing, right? Card making. That's interesting. Card making. I'd love to hear more about that one for real. Card making. Yeah. And again, have I seen it in parts of banking and finance that has nothing to do with IT? Yeah. Inside of companies that are doing certain things, right? So I get it with that, right? So nothing really crazy. Let me double check with my LinkedIn folks. Sometimes you all have a little different. Oh, hey Damon, how you doing? Mr. Damon Poole, how's it going, man? I'm seeing you there. I just looked over at LinkedIn. So welcome, 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 welcome. Let's see. Damon says, I can't show it over here, but I want to go ahead and grab the post, right? Damon Poole. It's nice to see you, brother, for real. Damon says this, and I'll drop it in the chat for those folks that's here on YouTube, right? Um, and I'll show it, right? I think the values can go as is, except for working software over comprehensive documentation, but that could be deliver value over comprehensive documentation, right? Whatever that value is what software replaces. So we're in agreement, Damon. We in agreement, right? We in complete agreement, right? You don't get a single disagreement from me on that, right? So just very, very important is you just kind of take a step back and just kind of look, right? You just kind of look, right? And you can find a space within it. I always do. I always do. I'm always doing some Scrum beyond software, right? I'm always doing some Agile beyond software. I just can't help it. It's kind of the way that I think. I was at my daughter's university this weekend, and I realized that she thinks iteratively like me. Like I think iteratively. I work iteratively. Like literally, I work iteratively, and I realized she does that too. And I realized how much pain she's gonna have with people who don't quite understand that. So I tried to make sure she understood that she kind of work in that manner, and just so that she can be good to go, right? So just like, oh man, just got to make it work. So anyway, that being said, um, that's about our time. That's about our time. So I think this is an amazing topic. I love this topic. But this is what we do all the time here. So once again, if you've never, 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 ever been here before, make sure you subscribe. If you like the content, make sure you like it, right? So like and subscribe as usual. So and then the algorithms can treat us nice, right? Can treat us nice. All right, so that being said, people, we're going to transition from that topic and we're going to go ahead and open up the chat room for questions. Not the chat room for questions. So you're welcome to drop your questions in the chat, or you can join me on a show. Now, if you're going to join me on a show, it is important for you to come through this link. If you're going to actually join me on the show, that is, you're going to join me live. Okay. Anybody that joins me live, they take precedence over people's questions. So you're welcome to ask questions in the chat, or you're welcome to join me live. Either one works. But now we'll open the floor for any questions that you may have. Let me see. I see a few more people in here. So, Patrick, it's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Man, you all good. Showing up is great, man. I'm happy that you show up. You show up for a second, I'm happy. So, questions. What questions do you all have this week? We had a nice time last week. You see me try to stick my finger up? I'm trying to look like one of those posh guys, like one of those really, really fancy guys that put a finger up some kind of way, right? Just trying to look fancy. That's stupid, ain't it? It's real dumb. It's real dumb, ain't it? I try to look fancy, like some of these people on the TV shows. Like maybe if I put my finger up, they'll think I'm special. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So that being said, I have dropped the link to join the show. I saw somebody joined us earlier, but again, you don't really have to join until we about to open up for questions, because otherwise you be pretty interested in that. So that being said, you know, I'm just over here just trying to figure it out, right? I see Timmy said in a international relocation from the last topic that we had. I think that's a definitely you can utilize Scrum Beyond software, right? In terms of that, right? So I like that. I like that idea too, right? Let's see. Yeah, no, I heard something click on me and it's not showing me what clicked, but that's all good. We're good to go. So I have happiness here. All right, let's see. What questions do you have? Let me look through the chat real quick. See who else is out there. I see Lillian out there, CJ out there, Rupen. The problem outside of IT industry is Agile is practiced wrong. Could be. Agile is probably practiced wrong inside of IT as well. In a lot of buildings, right? I see a lot of places where IT just ain't, it ain't right. Whatever they doing is not right. TX, how you doing now? How's it going? Welcome, 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 welcome to Chocolate Box. This is good. So yeah, y'all making it an easy night for me. Look at this. I'm good with y'all making it an easy night for me, but I don't like easy nights. I like to I like to earn my paychecks. I like to earn my paychecks. Do you understand? I do. I was thinking next week I was gonna think about talking about scaling. It's always a topic, right? Scaling is always a topic. So next week I said to myself, is there a topic I want to tackle on scaling? I know that scaling is something that I want to talk about at some point. We talked about DevOps recently, and so I figured we'd talk about agile transformation and scaling. Excuse me. Do I sound crazy, y'all? A little bit, tad bit, maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Don't you believe it? That's so stupid. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, right? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about when I said that, right? If you don't know, you don't know. I'm laying the gauntlets down for that one, right? Don't you believe it? We could talk about, the question is, can we talk about safe a little bit? I think we can talk about safe, but I think I'd love to say that for a topic on its own. topic on its own, right? And I may have to bring a safe person on. Uh, Maybe we'll see, right? But safe is a topic that we need to talk about, right? And for those that don't understand what he means by safe, the scaled agile framework, right? Um, Great topic, right? What is the value add for safe? Safe is just a scaling framework, right? Um, so everybody understand and know safe is amazing, right? It just feels prescriptive for a lot of people, right? Even a lightweight one feels prescriptive. But safe has vast majority of practices in safe have been around forever. The vast majority, right? The vast majority. I'm not talking about a title, I'm talking about things like lean portfolio management. It's been around forever, right? Been around forever. Scrum, XP, it's all in there. Been around forever, right? So nothing really crazy, nothing really special, right? I think you all are saying that you're done with me tonight. Are you trying to get rid of me? Because I'm here for your questions. Whatever questions you want to ask. I know I'm just sit around here and check y'all out for a minute. Can y'all believe seriously that there's an agile marketing, there's an agile HR manifesto? Most of y'all didn't know that, did you? Like literally this right here, most of y'all never seen that, have you? Have you? You never seen it, have you? I surprised you with that one in. Uh-huh. Completely surprised you with that one. Oh yeah. 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 I got you good with that one. You ain't expect me to pull that rabbit out of the hat. So yeah, that's an amazing thing right there, right? So this is good. So how's the PhD program going? It's going good. Um, I've taken myself down to one class a quarter as I go through the statistics stuff because I really want to understand the stats. It's quantitative and qualitative, right? So I really want to understand the stats. So I've taken one class at a time, and I'm been super busy. But it's going better than expected, really better than expected. I'm actually enjoying it because I'm actually learning a lot, right? I really am learning a lot. I love to learn, right? Well, obviously I love to learn. So yeah, so it's going well. So thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Yeah, Lillian, definitely tell your HR crew about it, right? Because I think probably the most interesting, like before the pandemic went down, right? Right there, 2019, I just had a slew of HR people coming into the classes, right? And then when the pandemic happened and we still had the online classes, just lots of HR people were showing up. Just lots, from different companies at that, right? And so, I just realized that there was just a whole movement of folks trying to figure out how to make the supply in that world, and that agile HR development manifesto, sweet. I like it. So yeah, I like it. I love it. Yeah, I agree with you. See, statistics is a beast. That's the reason why it slowed down. Slowed down. Well, I'm not even playing with it, right? All right, TX is asking, is there a specific non-industry where you, based on your knowledge and experience, would really benefit from Agile, right? I would say the government. I would say the government. And the reason why I say the government is because the government isn't IT per se. They have IT functions for sure, but most things in a government are contracted out to other parties. And so realistically, a lot of the government people end up being managing the non-government people, managing the outcomes and not having any full real control in that. So I think that applying the Agile Manifesto in their world would be extremely helpful. Would be extremely helpful, right? In the military, where I've seen billion-dollar failed programs or portfolios or whatever, um, getting feedback sooner probably would have helped. So Agile would have helped to some degree. So anytime where there's an opportunity for feedback and feedback could benefit the whole, I would say that's a good place where this Agile Scrum stuff probably could take really good hold. Yeah, you got to deal with resistance, but that's normal. That's always normal, dealing with resistance. Extremely important. Let's see. Working in fundraising as, let's see, as a data and information manager to use Agile concepts in my everyday work. It can be used in industry. Yeah, I learned that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, John, I'm glad you came to the class and you learned that in the class. But yeah, absolutely, I agree with that 10,000%. It can be applied in any industry, right? There's not an industry where you can't apply it. Yeah, you won't have it won't be perfect, right? I agree. It will not be perfect, right? But it's not even perfect in IT. Like in IT, it's not perfect. Like most places you go, they say they're doing Scrum and they skipping everything, right? So for me, I just say run an experiment. Like I said with anything, run an experiment, try something, try something, try something, right? So what are some of the elements of a CSM normally forgets on the job? What are the things we have to stay sharp on and we'll forget if we don't mature, if you don't nurture? Um, in terms of on the job, I would say probably the thing that the Scrum Master needs to not forget is that they're an individual too. And it's one thing to be a servant leader, but sometimes servant leaders get taken advantage of. Okay. Certain Scrum Masters are really empathetic, right? And they can take all that energy home with them, right? If I was to give one piece of advice to any Scrum Master, it'd be to take care of themselves. And all this stuff that's going on around you, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself because nobody else is going to take care of you. So take care of yourself, right? In these situations, right? Um, if there's one element of the job that I think that they can forget about, I would say the biggest element of the job they forget about is Scrum. The fact that Scrum has the ability for you to be flexible, yet a lot of Scrum Masters are not flexible, right? Um, some people think Scrum is being too rigid, right? And Scrum is just a framework, so you can do and work however you want to within that framework, right? So I think that the thing that they really lose sight of is actually Scrum itself. I can say to you for sure that I always have kept a copy of the Agile Manifesto close. So, and then I can always keep reminding myself about Scrum, right? And it's hard to say that you're going to forget about Scrum, but you have to remember that you're dealing with people. You're dealing with people, real people. They got real problems, they got real stuff going on. And when you're dealing with real people, it's just a different thing, right? It's just a different thing. And you want to make sure that you take care of them, but they're real people is the problem. And so what I find is I connect so much with people that I forget Scrum. So I would say be careful about not forgetting Scrum. And every sprint, once a sprint, take a look at that Agile Manifesto and read through it and check yourself and see how accurate things are, right? How much better you can get at doing things if you're able to, take some of that information in. So realistically, I think that probably the number one thing that I forgot as a Scrum Master was probably Scrum, literally, because I get so connected with the people, and it's not my job to make them do something. But when you're not making somebody do something, then there becomes test of all kinds of things, right? Just test for the sake of just having a test, right? So it's very important for you to just kind of take that in, take that in. So yeah, so for me, the number one thing to do is don't forget about Scrum. And the number one thing that I do remind myself is I make sure I keep the Agile Manifesto close. Not the Scrum guide close, right? I keep it close, right? At least for me, that's what I find I lose a lot. It's just Scrum in general. Scrum in general. Yeah. Sound crazy, right? But it's just truth, right? It really is truth. It really is the way that it's supposed. I guess it's supposed to be that way, right? It's supposed to be that way. Okay. So really, really very important. Okay. Other questions that you all have about anything? Any questions? Drop them in the chat. Let me go over here and check on my LinkedIn, folks. I don't see anything over there, so I think we're decently good. So yeah, so I'm just yeah, realistically, Scrum is a thing that I've always forgotten. It's one of the reasons why I buffer myself and I try to not be at a client for more than 6 months, especially back in the day. I definitely can do it now, but back in the day, I couldn't be at a client for more than 6 months because then I start aligning my thoughts to their thoughts. And then that makes me less of a consultant, more of I'm a part of the culture. But the culture is what we're trying to change. Yeah, I know. And change don't happen, then everybody's frustrated, right? It's not what we want. It's not what we want at all. At all. At all. At all. At all. Okay. I see that this is we're good to go. So, like I say, drop your questions in the chat. Other than that, I'll just ask you all, what's going on with you this week? Tell me something good. Tell me what's happening with you all. I'm just gonna have a fireside chat. I'm grabbing my little ginger beer now, since you all don't have no questions. Maybe I should be asking y'all some questions, right? Maybe I should be asking y'all some questions. Again, this is not real beer. This is just my ginger beer, right? I don't drink alcohol. Those that may not know, I don't drink alcohol. And nothing really crazy about it is just, yeah, just I don't drink alcohol, right? So tell me, anything special happening for anybody this week? Drop it in the chat if it is. What's special happening for this week for you? Good or bad? Doesn't matter. What's happening special for you this week? Talk to me, people. Tell me. Maybe nothing's just happening. Maybe everything's just super stable for you. That could be the fact. And if that's the fact, that's a good thing. I'm loving you. Why am I loving you? Because I think that's real special. I think it's real special to be in a position where you can live life on your own terms. And that could be you to this day. Hopefully it is you. Yeah, my throat ain't been right. Had this lingering thing going on with all the weather changes and all the traveling. So yeah, so my throat just been definitely off, but it's okay. I'm trying to find ways to make it survive, and it just seems like I got to keep it wet, keep it wet, right? Keep it wet is the main objective. If I do that, and it normally works out better for me. Maybe I end up with a special voice, and I can rap. I could go out there and start busting some rhymes and have a super unique voice that everybody loves. Wouldn't that be great? Would you come to my concert if I was a rapper? Would you? Would you for real? I have another question here. Started back walking 2 miles daily before work. You know what? Let me say that. Let me just do this for you. Because I agree with that wholeheartedly. You keep doing that. You keep doing that. You keep doing that. Health is our wealth. Get out there and walk. Get out there and do whatever it takes for you to remain as healthy as you possibly can. I agree with that 10,000%. I just got into making sure I get a 45 minutes a day in, walking, running, versus climbing, whatever it's gonna be. I'm getting the 45 minutes to an hour a day on that. So about 5 days a week I make sure I get it in. So I love it. I love it. Um, yeah, make sure you do that. Yeah, get out there and get that health right. Lots of jobs are asking for project manager slash CM as the same role. They should. What deliverables do a lot of people expect from the CSM? Those deliverables, they range, and so you can think of things like requirements traceability matrix. Probably some many CSMs may not be used to do that a PM does. A risk log of some kind, taking minute meetings, minutes for meetings. Um, you can add to that, making sure certain documentation is in place, like a design, high level design specs. Um, so realistically, there could be a lot of things. Sign offs on UAT or other levels that you expect to have signed off on. There's all kinds of things that could be a part of the deliverables that the organization expects you to do. But most organizations will let you know what those deliverables are because they have to set up some consistency. So even though we don't want it the same, they got to set up some consistency. So they have to do things a certain way. So um, yeah, I think those are a few good that would actually be deliverables that could be in your typical job. That is a PM slash CSM. So and PM being project manager, not product manager. Okay, so good question. Um, let's see. Yeah, hey, I would love to be the X in terms of the stage. X, he can make people cry and get super hype in the same concert. I never saw him personally, but I'm telling you, his albums, man, the first two, three, bomb. And you feel it, man. You feel it when he just giving it to you, right? So rest in peace, DMX. Let's see. Well, it depends on what type of rapper you'd be. I try to be a conscious rapper. I try to bring conscious rap back. Conscious hype rap is maybe what I would do. I don't know, maybe, you know. Okay. Petra, the sprint is ending tomorrow. I will see how well the experiment of vertical slicing with the team goes. So, Petra, you've already vertical sliced with the team already, or you're going to be? That's the real question. If I remember well, Petra, you might have a situation where you got lots of silos. So just be careful with the vertical slicing because that can turn your people into individuals just working separately. So be careful. Be careful. So yeah, let me know how, let me know if you're completing the experiment, let me know how it goes next week or how it went. If you're starting the experiment, let me know next week what did you do to get it started? Because I'd love to help give people some tips on, kind of you're at a standstill and now you got to go in and get some scrum done. That could be tough to do if you're brand new, But I always say to you, if you're gonna be a brand new scrum master, go inside a company that already has scrum masters. That way you can have some built-in mentors and emotional support. Both of those things, both of those emotional support is extremely important. I didn't realize how important it was, but it's extremely important, right? So let me know how it goes, Petra. Should be fun. Should be fun for real. Should be fun, right? Um, okay, yeah, you're completing a sprint. The team are on board. That's good. I'm glad they were on board. Normally, teams don't have crazy complaints about experiments as long as you give them time to do them. As I say, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like it's not gonna change anything, right? And they're gonna be like, no, let's not do that. Yeah. So let's see. That's a junior scrum master. Never heard of a junior scrum master before, but organizations can have them if they want to. Um, you know, a scrum master is a scrum master. You know, there's nothing, no such thing as a junior scrum master, senior scrum master. Not from a scrum perspective, but does your organization have those kind of things? Yeah, potentially. If they do, that is what it is. It's part of the hands you've been dealt. Part of the life that you already work with. Petri, I see you say you already have done this. So here's the deal. In your retrospective, ask them how it went, how they felt about it, what the problems were. Yeah. Try to get information, try to get feedback on on those slices. How those slices work. Try to get some feedback on that because that's going to let you know if you're really pushing in the right direction. The other thing it will let you know is if you need something else, management help, um, to kind of tie them by the bootstrap, right? So that would be how I think about it. Other question. My special people. I love y'all as usual. You know, we're good. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely let me know how they liked it. If they liked it, or if they didn't like it, what did they say can be improved? That's what I'm worried about, right? What did they say can be improved, right? Um, and then get permission to run another experiment with those improvements. And likely the only improvements that you really have would be things that will be improving the requirement, things that they need anyway, right? And if you're gonna do that, that's major. That's a big, big plus. So I'm over here like, yeah, what's good? Yeah, what's good? Yeah. Mhm. So no, that's exciting. I love experiments. I have a coalition and a catalyst team I started recently, and we're gonna be doing some experiments. Let's see. Probably the first resource I would say for Scrum Masters to have on hand is the Scrum Guide. I'm gonna write a book, and I'm gonna have to get some Scrum Masters some tips. What other book that I recommend? Probably Kenny Rubin's Essential Scrum. Yeah, that. Um, I'm gonna create a guide that gives some specifics and make sure everybody have a copy of that to some degree. Matter of fact, I told myself I was gonna write a book, right? And for the first 100 people, they can buy. For the first 200 people, they can buy for 99 cents. What the book is, be online. And then I said to myself, if I get 100 people to buy my book or 200 people to buy my book, I'll give them their money back. That's just online. If it's online, I can give them the money back. I'll just be happy, right? Don't hold me to that, y'all. Sometimes I just be talking here. Sometimes I just be making stuff up. Don't hold me to that. Do not hold me to that. There are cheats, a couple cheat sheets out there. I would say look up the Scrum Master's checklist. The Scrum Master's checklist. It's literally called the Scrum Master's checklist. Look that up. Look that up. Yeah, that would be a good cheat sheet per se, right? Um, I'm going to create a cheat sheet. What do y'all think about me creating a cheat sheet? Think that's a good idea? I think it'd be a great idea. Would you like to see a cheat sheet? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I need to call my book, the Scrum Cheat Sheet, Scrum Cheat Codes. What do you call the codes for the video games to make everything easier? Creativity comes from an imaginative mind, my brother. Keep sounding those ideas out. I'll be there. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Hey, Philip, man, how you doing, Philip? How's it going, Philip? I love Philip. Philip's a good dude. Love Philip. Love Philip. Right. Well, we're not gonna make you wait in line at all. Let's put it that way, Philip. No, 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 no. Okay, all right, all right. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it up. Yeah, that's it right there. Up, up, down, left, right, circle, square. You know what, man? That's I'm gonna have to call my. I'm gonna have to call my. Yeah, that's it right there. Uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh. We got it. We got it. If I write the Scrum book, we're gonna call it the Scrum cheat code. We're gonna call it the Scrum cheat code, and it's gonna be the S is for square. I don't know what to call the M, and then the U is for up, um, and then up, right. But I don't know what to call the M's. What should I call the M's? So it's gonna be the Scrum key cheat, the Scrum cheat code, right? That's gonna be the name of the book, the Scrum cheat code. Ha ha! Woo! The Scrum cheat code, and again, it's gonna be F is for square, and then we're gonna have the C, B for circle, and then the R, B for right, and then the U, B for up, and then M. I don't know what the M's gonna be. So what is the M, y'all? What is the M in my cheat code? The Scrum cheat code. Y'all don't like my idea? I mean, literally. I'm not even joking with you. I'm being really literal with you, right? That's what I'm being. I'm being literal. I'm being literal, right? I cannot find a pen around me real quick, man. I'm being super literal about this. The Scrum cheat code. The Scrum cheat code. Man, seriously. This might be backwards, but seriously. Oh man, this pen don't even come out no more. What does the M stand for? What does the M stand for? I got it, but I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what does the M stand for? I don't have my iPad. Otherwise, I just draw it and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, I feel good about that. The Scrum cheat code. That's it. The Scrum cheat code, y'all. Y'all help me make it up. Mass, critical mass? No, no, no. More trigger. Oh, the more trigger. Yeah, all right. There we go. There we go. There we go. Ah, that's it right there. That's it. Hey, y'all got. I gotta grab a pen, y'all. I gotta grab a pen. That is amazing. That is super amazing. We just figured it out. We just solved the problem. We solved the problem big time. Wait a minute, y'all. Hopefully y'all still hear me. We solved this problem big time. We have solved the problem for real. Let's see. Can y'all still hear me here? Yeah, you can. Literally, we talk about Scrum. So circle. It was circle, right, up. The C. The C was for center, wasn't it? What was the C for? Circle. The C is for circle. What is the S for? So the U is for up, right, circle, square, and the M is more. Scrum cheat code, y'all. Do you not see that? That's dope, ain't it? Tell me that's not dope. Is that not dope? No? Y'all don't like it? Boom. Name of the book. Scrum cheat code. Scrum cheat code. That's it. Done. Done. Scrum cheat code. I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling good about that. Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I'm making all kinds of noise because I need to. Yeah, Scrum cheat. That's a cheat code right there. See what I'm saying? Scrum cheat code, baby. Scrum cheat code. That's dope. It's too dope. Coming soon. Y'all know y'all helped me make it up. That's the name of the book, y'all. It's gonna be out. It's gonna be out in 3 weeks. I be putting myself under undue pressure for no reason. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on it. I'm gonna write it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and write it and get it out of the way. Actually, I've been working on something like that. So that being said, y'all, this is good. Thank you for believing me. Congrats. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. With all these good things. Anyway, y'all, we are over our time. That's exciting. So now I got the Scrum cheat code. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for believing in me. I appreciate y'all. On that note, hey, I want to remind everybody here, if you are certified with the Scrum Alliance, log these as Scrum education units. Let me repeat that. If you're certified with the Scrum Alliance, you can log this time that you spend here as Scrum education units. Seriously. Anytime you spend with a certified Scrum trainer is what? Scrum education units. So just know that. So you log that time, like literally. Some of you all show up here all the time. Log the time, right? So on that note, y'all, hey, thank you. That's our time for the day. I appreciate everybody. Great ideas. And remember, Scrum cheat code. In order to get your SEUs, all you got to do is just go log in, go into your dashboard, and fill in your SEUs. That's all you need to do, right? So on that note, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all later. Thank you so much. It's been a great one. I'll see you next week. Peace, everybody.